Nobody seems to be talking about romance with young men these days, particularly not on here. You guys are bombarded left and right with examples of what you shouldn't be doing, examples of your innate toxicity. But it's rare that somebody steps from over the brow of the hill and says, over here is a good direction for you to try and move in. You might be one of the lucky ones who has a male figure in your life to show you the way, to show you why it's so important to develop the side of yourself that I'm going to describe. But I know so many of you don't. So I'm going to try my best, because I think you deserve to know the things that will give you a fighting chance at a life you can be proud of. Perhaps confusingly to you at first, I'm hardly going to talk about romance with another human being. Bear with me, it will all make sense as I go on. In this video, I am going to urge you to develop a romantic relationship with the world itself. I'm not talking about tree hugging or gooning over rocks, and if the word romantic doesn't vibe with you, you could say I'm talking about developing your capacity to be moved. My main point overall is that there is a way of seeing and moving through the world that will make your life infinitely more meaningful and enjoyable than it would be otherwise. And I think without developing this ability, you will not only struggle to have a successful romantic relationship with a person, but struggle to get anywhere near reaching your potential as a man in your life. This might sound all a bit woo, a bit unscientific, but hear me out. And if you don't agree, then simply choose another path. First, I'll tell you how to develop this side of yourself. Then I'll go into more detail about why I think it's crucial that you do. The ancient Celts and the Chinese have a saying, you don't give a man a weapon until you've taught him how to dance. The idea is that a young man must first be disarmed, in the sense of being vulnerable, must learn to connect to something meaningful, must learn to hear and to dance to the music of life, before developing the ability to wield the sword, to cut a path and to lead the way. I think you can probably relate to being disarmed as a young man, experiencing shame or rejection or failure or abuse or neglect early in your life. But learning to hear the music is something that might need to be taught, especially with the distractions of this age. I'm going to get more grounded and practical in a minute, I promise, but who doesn't love a bit of ancient wisdom? In his must-read book on masculinity, Robert Bly talks about how young men during the Renaissance era would spend 2, sometimes 3 years developing the lover within. They would learn to write and perform music and poetry. And so we see this idea of the music, of the dance, of artistic expression in different forms appear through various cultures over time. It's stuck around for a reason, but we've stopped telling this story and you're being left in the dark as a result. Now, most of you listening aren't the sons of members of the aristocracy and either can't or wouldn't want to spend your time like this. They had older men in their lives who they wished to emulate, to become like, who had things they wanted, who told them that this was the path they needed to follow to attain them, a strong incentive, one many of you don't get access to. The lack of fathers and father energy in the culture has cut you off from powerful wisdom. What does apply, no matter who you're born to and in what era, is that your late teens are an excellent time to get in touch with a side of yourself you may have forgotten about. The practices I'm going to describe will help you to navigate the confusion and isolation and turbulence that is normal during this age. And I must assure you that it is normal. You are not uniquely cursed. The idea of there being value in committing yourself to something artful and moving and creative, like music or poetry, holds true today. But these are not the only components for developing the inner fire. I consider the main magic ingredients to be solitude and presence. It is key that you begin the work alone, somewhere you can take off the mask and just be you. It is also key that you are present. Phone away, no podcasts, no music, no social media. You will not hear the music of life and therefore will not learn to dance to it if you are distracted. It is my belief that if you are not moved by the world around you, you are likely not active enough in it. You aren't looking hard enough or at the right things. Moving through a beautiful space in nature is a great start. Both the movement and the landscape will help to mitigate the discomfort you will experience being away from the technology you are likely addicted to. It is easier to be bored in an interesting and rewarding space. Seek out a place of natural beauty, somewhere with hills or mountains or streams or forests or the ocean. Climb something and gaze out at a vast expanse. Watch the sun rise or the sun set. Allow yourself to be moved, to feel the space around you. Nature, beauty, and art, in all its forms, including literature and film, act as initiators. They evoke emotions within us that we simply don't experience if we do not seek them out. Powerful emotions that make us more grateful, more peaceful, more self-assured, more resilient. Other initiators include music and physical exertion. I would recommend that you involve yourself in both. The two in combination, in particular, can be a powerful unblocker of emotions. You likely know this already. The emotions we run from in our mind often rise to the surface when we run through physical space. My advice to you is to get out and go on an adventure. Follow your nose. Get bored enough and remote enough that you begin to feel and adhere to your natural inclinations, not the incessant pull of social media and lust and comfort and habit and the pressure to fit in. Gradually, the veil will lift from your eyes and the way that you see the world will change. You cannot gaze at beauty for long without being changed yourself. It holds up a mirror to us all. You will find that, if you pay attention, the same energy that resides within a sunset viewed from a cliff edge in a national park exists within the smile of a baby, the wagging tail of a dog, the sunlight dappling through the leaves of the trees on the roadside on your walk to school. There is a noticing, grateful mode you can enter at all times, where you ponder the miraculous nature of that which was a background blur a mere moment before. It's the mode that children engage with the world in, prior to judgments and concepts. Albert Camus once said, "In the midst of winter, I found within me an invincible summer." If you want to awaken within you your own invincible summer, something you can carry within you for the rest of your life, that sweetens experience and wards against pain, you need to seek out that which elicits awe and wonder in you, the beautiful, the artful, the natural, and you need to do it alone, undistracted. We've covered how a young man can learn to listen and dance to the music of life. Now let's discuss why I think it's so crucial that you learn to do so. I'll begin with a quote by C.S. Lewis. I don't think I could ever put it better than he does. To love at all is to be vulnerable. Love anything and your heart will be wrung and possibly broken. If you want to make sure of keeping it intact, you must give it to no one, not even an animal. Wrap it up carefully round with hobbies and little luxuries. Avoid all entanglements. Lock it up safe in the casket or coffin of your selfishness. But in that casket, safe, dark, motionless, airless, it will change. It will not be broken. It will become unbreakable, impenetrable, irredeemable. To love is to be vulnerable. I do not wish for you to end up in a place where your heart becomes impenetrable and irredeemable. But I think that before you give it to a person, it might first be best to open it to the world. Once opened carefully and repeatedly in the right settings, it will be strong enough for you to wear it on your sleeve. I would urge you to look upon the faces of adults who have closed their hearts, who have stopped exploring, stopped noticing the wonder of the world around them. Take a look at their lives and have a serious think about what you want from your life and how you might go about making that happen. Without the work described in these videos, you will struggle to love and be loved. You will struggle to know what you want. You will struggle with the rejection and failure one must manage to achieve anything worthwhile. A man who cannot be moved will forever remain stuck.